Hello, welcome to another night shift. My name is Yazil, and today we want to go one step further in the inventory. Today we're gonna do this. We drag the items from one spot or from one slot to the other, and if we just move them anywhere, they're going back here. So that's the plan for today, and for that we gonna look here in our canvas and see what's going on in the main inventory. We got a slot 2, which is 1 2, which should be an X. Here in the X we got our slot script, and we extend that a little bit. You saw that in the last video already. So we go into that, and then we see on our X itself there is an ItemDrag script. We want to work with that today. So let's go and open up Visual Studio. So before we do that, let's see where our ItemDrag script sits, and it's just here on the item prefab, just here. So you just generate a new script and put it here into the item, and then we go into the Unity ItemDrag script, and it's just, let me close that up, we don't need that in a moment. We're using the Unity engine and the Unity engine event system, which gives us basic events from, for example, the mouse handler, and that's what we want to work with today. And of course, it's in the namespace yazim.itemSystem or whatever namespace you choose for your item system. So it's public class ItemDrag. It comes from MonoBehavior, and it has the events I begin drag handler, I drag handler, and I end drag handler. So you see, we begin the dragging, and we drag, and we end the dragging. For that, we have a couple public variables. For once, we have a static item in move. That's just a game object, what we drag in the moment. It's a static, so it's always in the whole game, but it's no problem because we drag only one item at a time. Then we have an int slot ID, an int item ID, and a public string inventory name, and a public inventory. If we need some of them, I don't know yet. For sure, I think we need these, but what the hell, just store them here so we have them if we need them later on. Then we got a private variable. It's a transform, parent transform, so we store in this variable the parent transform. So if you don't know the way how to do that, it is quite easy. If we go, for example, for whatever, this one, I cancel handle, it tells us we need to do something. You can write that on your own, public void, and so on and so on. If you don't, right click and quick and implement interface, and you see here is on cancel the function made by Visual Studio. So we delete that again. So you make 3 of these functions, and then we go and start with on begin drag. And on begin drag is we store the parent transform where we are now, so we know if we want to go back where what the parent was. Then we say the item in move is our transform.game object, so we have that also. And then we say this.transform.set parent, this.transform.parent.parent.parent.parent. So that's a little bit strange, but let me explain that. So let's go into the canvas, main inventory, and for example these eggs. And when you drag something and want to have it on top of everything, it has to be on bottom of these canvas. So we just move that to parent.parent.parent.parent. So it's on top here in this canvas, and then it's on top of everything, because it always went or goes down to the last item. So let's go here and scroll a little bit down and drag one item, and you see it went down here. So it's on top of everything. Okay, then after we move that all the way up, we going to get component canvas group block raycast is false. So if we drag something, the block's raycast will be set to true. So if we go over everything else, the mouse won't be raycasting anything. So we have to cancel that, and so we just set that to false. And if we drop something, we know what's behind that. So the next is on drag. We just move the item, this transform.position, and we're going for the event data.position. And event data.position is just our position from the mouse. So we just move this transform to the position of the mouse. And on drag end, we just say the item in move is equal to null. So the item in move is free again. Then we get the component canvas group and say the block raycast is to true again. Then we look if the transform.parent is not equal to the transform parent transform. That means it's not moved at all. It will be set transform.local position is vector.0. Since we modified the transform here, if we drop that, we want to have it on position 0, 0 again. So let's see if we can. There. Let's see. When we click on the X, we see it's on 0, 0, 0. And when we move that, it will be on different position, and so if we drop that again, that it makes sure it's on 0, 0, 0 again. Good. So the last part is we set the transform back to the parent transform we stored, and we say the world position is just gets manipulated on the local position, so we set that to false. If we got true here, it would be the world position we had last time, or we had while we moved. So that's all for the drag script. Let's move to the slot script. And in the slot script, you saw that last time already. This little bit, we looking for the item drag and get the component, and we set the inventory name, the inventory, the item ID, and the slot ID. And also in the slot script, we get a new handler, iDrop handler. So if something gets dropped on us, and for that we also need the event systems. And if something is dropped, we get the public void on drop pointer event data, and we go for the item drag go to drag is equal to event data dot pointer drag dot get component item drag. So we just get the item drag component, and we look if the item game object to drag dot inventory name is equal to inventory name. So we look on the ItemDrag, is the inventory name equal to our inventory name, which is here? And if it's the case, we just say inventory manager.move item inventory database.item at underscore item goal ItemDrag.slot ID, and we have these new slot ID and we have the inventory database. So we have to write these functions in our inventory manager. So we move there, and in our inventory manager we have just these function move item, inventory new slot, inventory item database. So we generate a new item, and that we do with a new inventory item underscore inventory item dot player ID, inventory item dot bag name, inventory item dot slot. And if you don't have these functions, that's easy. We go into the inventory items and we create these and set the values for that. So then we go and see if on my database.item inventory slot is equal to empty item. So we set the empty item to the inventory slot we have in the moment. So we set the new item to the old spot on the database. Then we send to our server, we delete this item. We just don't want to have that any longer. And we destroy the item in move just a few seconds or a few milliseconds later on. So we need to go to delete item, and delete item is just a function where we send to the Dark Rift server which item we want to delete, and that's similar to save item. We did that in a previous video and prepared the item plugin for being able to delete something. And when it's deleted, we set the inventory item.slot equal to the new slot, and then we're gonna save the item. And that's all. Everything else will be done automatically. We're going to, on the save item, we save that to the database will send us, or the plugin will send us the new position, and after that we go ahead and what we're going to do, we fire up the event for bringing up the item into the inventory. So it's not too hard, I think. It's just what you have to remember is the ItemDrag script uses Unity functions for when the mouse is or something is done with the mouse, and we using this stuff here and fill it up with the stuff we want to do. And in the inventory manager, we just use the move item to position the item to the new spot. Of course, we have to see if the spot is already filled up with something. So we have to decline that and return that. And of course, we still have to work with what is happening when we hit a stack with another item with stacked. But that's for the next video. So if you liked it, just leave a like message. If you like it even more, just subscribe to my channel. And I would say until the next time, see you around.